If you could have any group of people for your audience, who would that audience be and what message would you deliver to them?
Good question. My audience would be women that no longer truly believe in their potential, because I would love to be able to speak life into them and watch the transformation appear before my very eyes, because everyone has something.
Some get a little bit nervous about things, some get a little bit negative, some look at things too deeply when they shouldn't. I would probably just sit and tell them how easy it is when your life is positive. How much better every day is if you just look at things like that and don't find the tough things and don't pick at the wrong things.
Yeah.
Try to find the positive in each and every day. And I would sit with them, and I would probably go individually because I know them all so well, and then see if I could bring that out with them.
For me, I would think that my greatest audience that I would want would be those who have helped me all along through life, guiding me, mentoring, molding who I am and my values inside, because their opinions and values matter a lot to me. So that's why I would want them to be part of it, because they've made me who I am now.
You are someone who demonstrates a lot of positivity and optimism. How does that feel inside of you?
It's my being. I don't think I can identify how it feels. I can identify how I feel when negativity enters. That radars me or gets those, like, boom, okay, some things push me off my course because I'm naturally optimistic. I'm human, so when that enters or I participate in it, I immediately don't feel, I know I'm not myself. Energy's off the charts. It's what drives me out of bed in the morning. Anticipation of what could we do today when you're exhausted, it still is what gets you up.
I really do get joy out of making people happy. I hate fighting. I hate the feeling of even an argument starting. I immediately get almost sick to my stomach. So for me, I'd rather just be happy and push that on to others as much as I can.
When I have the ability to demonstrate the positivity and optimism, which I try to consistently do, it really creates a sense of lessened anxiety within myself, because I know that I am enough to achieve whatever it is I desire to achieve. It also does not put me into a bucket where I feel I compare myself to others, because I'm learning from others.
It's the only way I know how to be. My mom was like that 100%, and that's how I grew up. Everything about my mom was positive. She never found negative in anybody. She used to just tell me all the time, and I put that in my little booklet, whatever you do, remember that everybody has their own story behind closed doors. Everybody has their own life. Don't judge people. Don't think that you're better than they are. Just be happy for them, whatever they think, don't change anything. And she was so happy, and so I grew up that way.
I think when I am positive and I feel positive and I choose to feel positive, my life goes much better, because the negative stuff, you can't dwell on it. I mean, you really need to dwell on the positive stuff, and it brings you out of your
Funk.
Yeah. And we're all going to get that. We're all going to have that negative stuff. If you can stay, look at the best. Look at what the best part of your life is, and being thankful is huge.
Does it come naturally to you?
I think it was something that I grew into over time, but the way I grew was by consistently looking at the things that came along and making myself grateful for each moment that came along, that maybe I would view immediately in a negative fashion and turn it into something positive.
And I think sometimes, just in society, I think sometimes it's hard for people to think that you're really genuine then, because it's the rarity. So I've know that people have said, oh, she just acts positive all the time. I literally know people who have said some of these things, and I've addressed it. No, you can't be positive all the time, but you have a choice. If you go down there, you can choose to bounce right back very quickly.
The longer I'm on the earth, the easier it is, because I know it's the only way out. And I know if your mental health is bad, so is your physical health, and I've watched it. So I do know that's a fact. Our minds do affect our bodies. But she was very, very nasty. But it came from her hurt inside. So I went in my bedroom, and I was so angry. I mean, just angry at what she did. It was so unkind and disrespectful, all that stuff to me, you know, and I was so angry. And I sat there and I thought, okay, now you can be mad and pout, or you can decide to forgive her. And I did learn how to forgive people that have brutally abused you. It is possible. And when it happened, a lot of my illnesses went away. So it is what I choose. I made myself. And it requires one big thing. You have to forgive them. You just sit there and make the words come out until you start to believe them. And it takes like, I would say 30 days. The mind has, what do you call them, paths. And you create a path from fear, anger, bitterness, whatever. And to change that, it takes 30 days, just like any habit. And all of a sudden, towards the end of it, you notice that your heart's starting to lift. And eventually, you can forgive them. And then you can go on with your own life without, I mean, just think about when you're holding a grudge. What do you feel like? You feel like heck, crap, poop.
What are ways that you remind yourself to be positive or optimistic if you're really challenged with doing it?
I think I'm at the point now where it positively flows in naturally than where before it was an immediate negative. Because as we grow up, we're programmed that everything comes to us more in a negative manner than it does in positive. So you have to somewhat reprogram your own mind to generate that positivity.
Sometimes when I'm having rough days, I actually seek little things from other people to help me remember to get out of that funk, to be positive. But most cases, I'm trying to stay happy. I feel better that way than dwelling on something. So I do little things to remind myself to say, okay, get out of this as quick as possible when you're feeling this way, and just move on with your day. It's something small, you'll get over it. And so I like self-talk a lot.
There are people, and when you are the most miserable, if you can make yourself do something for somebody else, it lifts you out of your misery.